Hooray! Hey everyone, welcome to the prop shop. We are Brittany's right over there. You're going to see a whole bunch of her and me, Bill. We're doing live from the shop. We are working today. We're working on stuff. We have an event next week. We have to bring all of our costumes to. We're going to be down in Las Vegas for Autodesk University. So we have some of these costumes are years old. The Skyrim ones specifically are pretty beat up. So before we take a trip with all of our costumes, we're going to fix them, doing some maintenance and some repair. And you guys get to watch in as we fart around and fix our hard work. So that's what's going on. We got the chat going at punishprops.com/live. We have a bunch of sales this weekend. I put a link right down here. Not only us, but a bunch of our prop maker friends are selling stuff at a discount all weekend long. So go to that link if you are interested in any of that stuff. It's worth it to check it out just to see what's available. I know there's a bunch of stuff I want to buy. So yeah, that's what's going on. So I'm going to swap the camera over here. Nope, that's not the camera. That's my web browser. You'll see me here and Brittany over there. We're going to work on our costumes. If you have questions for us, let us know in the chat. And I think, yeah, we have the Q&A app running too. If you have any questions or anything, just throw them our way. Other than that, we're just going to get to work because we have a lot of work to do. So we'll see you while we do our thing.
Hi, guys. Looks awfully dark. Need more lights.
It's all right.
I can't see. It's like a dark void
you
over
can
here.
See. This is the part that really needs a lot of work on this costume. It is just falling apart. Mostly the Velcro. This goes over my torso area.
What'd you originally attach that with?
I mean, it was just hot glue.
Yeah.
I mean, this part is held on with a these straps are just completely falling apart. They should be sewn on, but I think actually I think Barge would do the trick. I'll do a test on one of them. But also, there's like a little hook here that holds it together, and I lost one, so I'm gonna make another one. Also, there's this bright yellow bit right here. That's a zip tie that's holding that together. There's a couple zip ties on there. Actually, I zip tied it and then I re-hot glued it, and it seems like it's really, really strong right now. So I may trim those a little bit better, but I may leave the zip ties in because they seem to be doing a good job. Some of these in the back piece fell off right there, and then like this right here is extra. I don't know why that's there, so I may just move that down.
We did make the chainmail ourselves.
Brittany made it all, yeah.
Yeah, we bought the rings on was it the Ring Lord? I think.
Yeah.
He sells individual chainmail links, and we got anodized brown ones, and I wove them together. It's like knitting, only with metal.
This is really great. If you don't already have one, flush cut nippers. They're flat on one side, so you can cut stuff straight down and flush. So like the little tabs that stick off on zip ties, you can cut them totally flush like that, and then they're not going to jab you in your costume.
Probably sounds like crazy chainmail right now.
This one seems to be doing okay too. I think I'm just gonna re-hot glue. The other thing is these don't need to last forever. They just need to last another weekend, I think.
Every time we wear our Draugr costumes, we say it's gonna be the
never
last
again.
Time. Yeah. Oh, I need to find my shoe inserts.
Yeah.
We have like those Dr. Scholl's squishy.
We have a couple of them now. We should.
Yeah, squishy foam inserts, and I switch them in and out between my costumes, and they are not in this one currently.
We bought more last time we were at PAX, right?
Yes. I think mine are upstairs. I will make a note to grab them later.
It's a good plan.
Yeah. Paper.
I also have to remove fur from my Velcro because this costume has fur and Velcro on it, which is a winning combination if you want to get fur all up in your Velcro. What are we bringing? What costumes are we bringing? We got our Draugr, so we're each bringing our Draugr.
Then we are each bringing our Destiny costumes. So we have
That's
our Lord Shax and our Vex Goblin.
Shax doesn't need that much repair. I may try and touch up some of the latex is peeling back.
You said some of your torso was separating too.
I fixed that last time I wore it.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, my Vex, I think I'm pretty much leaving the way it is. But I'll take a look. Yeah, these, where's the camera? I love these Draugr shoes. They're old sneakers, and all I did was take some faux, like, suede, kind of soft leather, and I think I barged these on, just glued them on and then cut it off, and just drew stitches on it, because this was all last minute back when we did our Draugr costumes, and I never thought to update it, never wanted to, but it's finally beginning to peel off, so I think I'm just going to super glue it back down, because my carrying level is very low with the shoes. No one looks at our feet when we're wearing our undead masks anyway.
Oh, do we need to repair them helmets at all?
I brought them downstairs.
All right.
I did. I beat up your Draugr horns when we were last time we had our helmets in the car, but you already fixed that.
Yeah. So with this, when I built this armor, so now if you guys have watched some of my other videos, when I put straps like this little nylon webbing strap, when I hot glue it down, I cut lines in the foam so that the hot glue can sink in there. I didn't do that on this, which is probably why these fell off. It's really kind of bonkers to have been doing so much foam armor for so long. And look at these that we built, what, 3 years ago? I just realized how much I've learned since then. See, Matt Gardner wants to know, finally caught a live show. Been following your stuff for about 2 years. You got me into building. Hooray!
Yeah, I think we're getting a lot of the UK people in since we're earlier.
Oh, today?
Yeah, we usually stream too late for them. So I'm glad they're able to catch a live show.
Awesome.
Silly time differences. Wow, that super glue just soaked right through the cloth. I guess that's a good thing. Also, the buttons of these shoes are really gross. I think they still have Dragon Con on them.
Yeah. If Dragon Con was like a liquid, it would be sticky.
Yeah.
Oh, do we have the heat gun?
It's in its spot.
All right, awesome. Oh, and I can steal this from the plate. Is it in its spot?
That's where I put it. So you must have used it last.
Just confusion. Oh, here it is. I did use it. I remember I was doing tests on that EVA I got from TNT. Svetlana wasn't sure if it separates the way it normally does versus L200, but it does, which is exciting.
That's probably really loud. Yeah, I think these costumes, we used a lot of nylon webbing in those D-rings to attach the chainmail and attach the straps. A lot of hot glue. Mm-hmm. I don't think we...
Oh my God, it's stuck to me.
I think we were even using contact cement then too. So. Yeah.
But there's still like so many techniques that I do now that are just second nature that I didn't do back then. Hey, buddy, buy anything this weekend? Buy any sweet deals? We did not. We didn't. Yesterday we bought sandwiches and bread and sandwiches and beer. That was our big expense yesterday.
Yeah.
We left the house just long enough to do that.
I don't know if other countries do the local Black Friday craziness, but the United States does. So if you don't want to be a part of it, you usually don't go outside on the Friday after Thanksgiving because it's just anarchy. people driving around all crazy and snatching products out of each other's hands. But we ventured out to get sandwiches that were not on sale.
And I got my hot glue here, and I want to cool it really fast, so I have a can of air that I'm going to blast upside down.
Ink got time for hot glue.
Oh, I need a little chunk of wire for this part. So for the Draugr torso bit, there's chainmail all the way around the body, which doesn't make sense. How do you get in and out of it? There's no gap. So we had to make a gap on this front piece here. And it connects, after I put it on, it connects with these little hooks I made, and I lost one. So I'm going to remake one of those.
Yeah, that broke a long time ago. You've just been kind of...
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I wanted
barely keeping it together.
I wanted to try and barge some of this back together. I'm going to give that a try, too.
All right, I have re-glued my shoe covers back on. I don't even think they would have peeled off anymore, but that's just a nice peace of mind there. All right. Oh man, this
Props fan wants to know if there's a reason why you use hot glue to attach nylon instead of barge. Usually because it's quicker and it's easier to take off. Like if you have to reattach, like if you put a strap on and it's not in the right spot, strap on, and you have to take it off, you can just heat it up with the hot glue and then move it and then mash it back down. That's generally why I use the hot glue. Usually by the time I'm strapping something, I'm not going to get it right on the first try.
Man, my Draugr necklace is falling apart. Looks like I had a strip of leather, and then I painted it with leather paint, and then I glued my straps to the leather.
I like that you have to go into your mind palace to figure out what you did back then.
But I think I just barged right on top of the paint, so it's finally peeling off. Look at that. It just came right off.
Oh, wow, yeah.
The first thing that broke was the Velcro on it, so I'm just going to reattach all of these.
Yeah. That's the thing, we may have done a shitty job of it, back then, but if it lasted 3 years, might as well just put it back together the way you did before. If it lasts another 3 years, and it'll be fine. If I'm still wearing this in 3 years, then that's the problem.
I just need to use hot glue this time, I think. Wow, yeah, that just peels right off.
To be fair, these costumes have lasted way longer than they should have.
Yeah. I also didn't sand the back of the foam floor mat, so the texture is still there, so it didn't have as much gripping power. So I'll score that with a knife.
Let's see, Zupster says, we did not have Black Friday either. He saw down in Austin there were some people fighting. Maybe they should have gone in wearing some cosplay foam armor.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that. I wanted to so in Seattle, everyone's bonkers about the Seahawks. They have flags with the number 12 on them. They yell, 12 man. I wanted to get a giant 12 flag and just run into a store. Not buy anything, don't go after any products, but just run around screaming, 12 man, blah, and then leave.
Yeah. Just to get in the spirit.
Yeah.
Just the craziness spirit. These were also coated in Epsilon, so the foam has a hard surface to it. But these things don't bend, so it's my stuff isn't even cracking. And if it does crack, it's old undead armor, and it looks fine. It has issues. All right.
These rings, these chainmail rings are aluminum, which is awesome. It's really, really pliable. So if you're thinking about getting into making chainmail for your costume, consider getting aluminum rings.
Yeah, the aluminum ones I had for my old Planeswalker costume were just straight up aluminum and they tarnished, right?
Did they?
Yeah.
No, steel tarnished.
Steel. Did I have steel ones?
Yeah, you did.
Man, I don't even remember. So the ones I have now are anodized aluminum. Okay, so if they were just silver, they wouldn't tarnish, but I wanted them to look brown. Didn't want to paint them.
So they're anodized with a bronze color.
Yeah, okay. Jeez, yeah, I did that stuff so long ago. Yeah, aluminum's super light and easy to work with.
Yeah, that's the main bonus is how easy it is to manipulate and how lightweight it is. And how easy it is to cut.
I have no memory of making most of this.
No.
This was a pre-Dragon Con costume that we were working late hours on to get done. And then the next year we made the masks for the helmets. So we didn't even have those the first year. We just had a body mask that was painted.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently the Canadian dollar is horrible right now.
Really?
Yeah, talking about it in the chat. That's too bad. Zepster is wondering if the texture on our armor is done with a rotary tool. It definitely is.
Yes, it is.
I think we have our bits up here on a magnet strip. I don't see the round. Oh, there it is. Boop. This is a rotary tool bit that's usually used for grinding, I think. It's a stone grinding bit, so it's pretty smooth. And so we used this in a rotary tool and then did all the divots on the armor. It took a while. And then by brushing on the Epsilon, it smoothed everything out. So there's no little fuzzy bits or anything. Yeah, that was a lot of work. I think you did most of the armor.
A lot of the grinding, yeah.
Yeah, I did the divots on the helmets. That was different because the helmets were coated in Bondo. So it had more of a harder material.
This strap has staples in it. I fixed it by stapling it together just with an office stapler.
Hey, that works. This is zip tied with a green zip tie that we had. Need to liberate that. This was at a convention. Like the last time we wore these was at PAX Prime in Seattle, and we threw them on and they were falling apart. So halfway through the day,
we threw them on in the parking lot,
and we realized that parts are broken.
Yeah, but we have a little repair kit, and that was with us. So we just grabbed the repair kit, and we have a power inverter for our car, so that we could plug in the hot glue gun right in the trunk, and we hot glued it all back together right before we walked into PAX.
Still good. Yeah. As far as having repair tools on me, I really like zip ties.
Yeah.
That fixes just about everything for a quick temporary fix. So just having some of those in your pocket, even if you have a costume that you don't really think would need that fix, it's always nice running into another cosplayer who needs help and being able to just, was it zip ties and safety pins?
Yeah.
Pull them out of your pocket and help other people.
And they're easy to keep on you, in a pocket or in a pouch.
That just peels right off.
I'm just removing fur from Velcro right now. And then I have to unstaple these and fix them for reals. Although the staples seem to hold for a while, I guess. They seem to do a pretty good job.
Epsilon is smooth on, is it epoxy?
Yeah, it's an epoxy.
Yeah, you brush it on and it forms a hard shell. I think its main use is does it work on an insulation foam?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in a theater company, if you're making big chunky things out of insulation foam, you can brush that on and it makes a hard shell on it. We use that for our foam for these costumes, so it makes it all rigid, but it worked really well. But it can become brittle. Like I could snap this in half and then it would have a crack in it. Lately, we've been using more flexible materials like Plastidip and latex.
I'm hoping by removing fur from the Velcro, it returns it to its original effectiveness. This, like, look at, oh, this is a carpet. Oh no, post a picture of this.
Well, Black Friday deals are still running. Matt Gardner is wondering what is the one tool you would buy right now?
One tool that if it was like on sale. Oh, it's tricky. We're running that list is pretty low right now. What software? There's some software I want.
Yeah, there's a 3D printing software that is apparently gives you a lot of control over getting your 3D print ready to work on your printer.
Yep. What's it called? Simplify 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna just buy it anyway. But if it was on sale this weekend, I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, we've heard a lot of good things about it.
Yeah.
As far as tools, though, our rotary tool we had it was a Craftsman. We had it for 5 years, and it finally died.
Yep.
That was last month. So we picked up an upgraded rotary.
Fordham.
Yeah, rotary tool, the Fordham. So like, if we didn't, I don't even know if we would have bought one on Black Friday though, because I was expecting it to last forever. It was like an undead rotary tool.
Yeah. I would get a dedicated disc sander, probably. The one we have
a bigger one.
A bigger one, yeah. I would mostly just replace stuff that we have.
If you don't,
with a better version.
Yeah, if we didn't have the tools we have now, I think it would be bandsaw, scroll saw, and a rotary tool. Yeah,
those are good things to keep an eye out for.
We don't use the scroll saw as much, at least not lately. We haven't been doing hard surface props. We'll do some more of that soon. But that's great for cutting out harder plastics. The bandsaw is great for cutting out foam.
Oh, is the cat food going on? It probably already did.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hear movement upstairs. All right, I tried barging this back on. We'll see how it goes. I just did it right over the hot glue. Seems like it wants to stay. So there's a lot of Velcro on this. There's Velcro on the back, and I'll probably re-hot glue the edges of this just to reinforce it. It's funny, there's hoops, like D-rings back here I ended up never using.
I think we were putting on extra just in case.
Yeah, so I'm really just going to reinforce some of these attachments. There's a lot of Velcro. So these straps have Velcro on both sides, and they're both coming off. So I'm going to just peel them off, and then I think barge them back on. And peel away all of the super gross fur. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is all about room, to have room for your tools as well. We'd like to put together a bigger vacuform table, like a freestanding one, but that's going to have to wait until we get a bigger shop.
Yeah.
There's just no room.
Our main, two things and we're a little spoiled down here. We do have a lot of square footage, but we don't have any big wide open areas, so I don't have a table I can walk around, which I would love. Also, I'm touching the ceiling right now. Like, that's how tall the ceiling is. Not so much a problem for me.
I don't like it.
Britt doesn't like it. But also, when you're working with chemicals and stuff, it's good to have room for it to disperse above you.
Yeah, not having living quarters above your shop would be nice.
We're at the point, though, where we can start being picky about that sort of thing.
And figure out what's a priority for the work we do.
Yeah, but also we spend 10 hours a day down here or more. So it makes sense to invest in a better space.
Yeah. Cool. I finished gluing on my straps. I do have, it looks like part of my silver chipped off, and I see some, I think I made these in air drying clay. Sounds like something I would have done that long ago. It's there's red showing through, so I'm gonna just take a silver Sharpie to, I can't really see it. There's some red there. Just a silver Sharpie. That's my carrying level with this costume, just to quickly touch up the silver parts. Rail's wondering if we worked with Warbler.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, let me grab, I have to grab the helmets anyway.
We haven't done any full suits of armor in Warbler, but for me, it's a material that has its uses occasionally. It's got its things that it's good at, and when I need it to do that, I can reach for it.
Yeah. So these helmets were all the base was made out of craft foam with fiberglass and Bondo, but the horns are all Warbler with expanding foam underneath it. I think I made a Pepicora template. It's on our website too. I think, yeah, we did a write-up on the Skyrim Draugr costume. So if you go to punishprops.com, you can check out the write-up, and we have some pictures. But I did like foam Pepicora horns, filled them with expanding foam, and then coated the whole thing with Warbler. It has such a nice organic look, and it was really fast to work with just to get the textured loopy horn thing. So it was great for that. But for this, it was all just foam and Bondo. Still holding up. Its nose beginning to crack a little bit, but
that was an early accident. That it's the nose.
Yeah, I think it's just any pressure on it.
Yeah.
But the back is fiberglass, so it won't snap all the way
No,
through.
it's just the outer shell is cracked. It's the is it Epsilon?
No, it was Bondo.
Okay.
I covered the whole thing in Bondo. Still pretty light though. But yeah, these horns come off for shipping, and I see some cracks underneath one of them that I'll just brush black on.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go over most of the edges on these with some silver paint. Anywhere that it's worn through. Actually, the arms those have to be just super beat up.
Oh yeah, one of my arms is almost cracked all the way through.
Yeah,
from my awesome muscles.
And it's not too bad. But like the edges up here of the edges of the armor here, I can see the foam. It's black. It's not like it's red foam, so it's not that big a deal. But I'll just take some silver paint and just touch that up. I can even take, if I have it.
Yeah, the silver Sharpie.
A silver Sharpie. Let's see if I can actually I'll swap the camera over here. There we go. So check that out. The edge of the foam's kind of peeking through, and I can even just take it's not working as great as I hoped. I got a light there. There we go. Just take a silver Sharpie and touch that up a little bit. If I want it to look a lot better, I'll go over it with an actual paint, like a silver acrylic paint. The Tamiya silvers are really good because they cover really well. Actually, you know what I have? I'm going to go give that a try while I'm waiting for this barge to go. We got some of that heavy body paint that Steve likes so much. Yeah,
that's in the one container with all the acrylic paints.
Yeah.
Yeah, the silver Sharpie isn't working so well on this. I want to try that. So these horns are attached with T-nuts that are glued into the base of the horn, and then there's a bolt on the other side that we can unscrew for shipping these bad boys. I still accidentally bent one of the horns when it was attached recently, so Bill had to glue it back together.
So this stuff here, Liquitex Heavy Body, it's a heavier, more pigmented acrylic paint. I'm going to give that a try. It's like a really thick paste. So I'm just going to touch up this edge here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that works.
It's interesting, though. It's very clean silver compared to everything else. Everything else on this costume is dirty because it is filthy. It is so dirty. There's no way to clean it. So it's just filthy dirty. Yeah, it's working okay. Rub and Buff might be a better option. Rub and Buff covers really, really well. But there we go. It's not. There's no black showing through now.
Oh wow, that silver definitely has more of a.
It's a brighter.
Yeah, but it's like a colder silver.
Yeah. Well, that's because all of this got weathered a lot.
Yeah, so it got more brown in it.
Yeah. Oh wow, this thing is just. The side of this thing is just chewed up.
It looks like old leather though.
Yeah, with like the this part right here is just demolished. I'll get to that though. I gotta keep gluing stuff before I get to that. King of Crafts says he lives south of us in Portland. Well, we won't hold that against you.
Hey, Portland. Portland's awesome.
Portland is awesome. We like to go down there.
Yeah, we used to go down there quite a bit for the Pirate Festival every year.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to be using some silver rub and buff, I think.
Okay.
So I have it all set up here. I also have your black Maya that I'm going to be brushing on a little part. Rub and buff you can find in craft stores in the like antique crafty area.
Or in the framing section. It's used for antiquing frames.
Yeah, it's a waxy kind of silver or gold usually. You can buy a bunch of their colors online. There we go. I think I used rub and buff on these before, so it matches pretty well.
I like using a Q-tip to apply rub and buff.
Yeah. All right. Another thing fixed.
Check it off the list.
I don't have a list. It's one of those things where I'll fix as much as I can and then just deal with the rest.
Yep.
All right, I'm brushing black on the horns where I see some cracks in the base.
I'm just putting hot glue around the perimeter of this this Velcro.
To make it so it won't peel up at all?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to hold it in place, but it's so that nothing catches on it to pull it off.
Yeah, Velcro doesn't, at least the kind of Velcro that we can get easily, has like a flat plastic backing. It doesn't have the soft cloth.
We ought to order a big old roll of it from McMaster.
Yeah, apparently it exists. You can get
it's
Velcro.
like a sheet of it, like a sheet of fabric, and it's Velcro.
Yeah, so it has the soft backing, kind of like nylon webbing, where stuff will seep into it, whereas normal Velcro, nothing soaks into it, so it can peel off, which is not as good. Have to upgrade our Velcro. Normally, with my newer stuff, I sew Velcro onto nylon webbing straps and then glue those straps down. So I add the backing to the Velcro, but it'd be nice to not have to do that stuff.
Yeah. Jesmo is making an M5 phalanx and wanted to close the battery lid with magnets, but I'm wondering if it'll affect the battery. Probably not.
Oh, it should be fine.
Yeah, I think it'll be okay. Rail wants to know, what's the next con you're planning to attend? Actually, we have a bit of a break from conventions.
It might be Emerald City.
Yeah, Emerald City in
April?
Wow, that would be.
Oh wait, no, there's something. No, there's one in Portland in February. I don't know if we're going to that.
Yeah.
The Wizard World Portland.
Oh yeah, that's right. We should go to that.
Well, I wanted you to be a guest there, but I don't know if they're still taking guests.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. But yeah, I'm actually really excited to have a break for a while. There's a lot of stuff we are like behind the scenes stuff as far as our business is concerned that we are trying to get in order, and we've been slowly working at it. We made a lot of progress, but to have several months off in a row from conventions throw a monkey wrench into everything. Even though it's a weekend, you have prep beforehand, you have recovery afterwards, and you're not being productive in your business or shop at all during that time. So it's like 2 weeks of just chaos whenever we have a convention to go to. So to not have that slowing us down means we can make a lot of progress in other places.
Yeah, I like convention season, but I'm definitely a little burnout right now.
Yeah.
I haven't even gotten all the ones you have.
Wow, this just came right off. This is Velcroed on and it just peeled right off.
You mean hot glued?
Or hot, the hot Velcro was hot glued on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just peeled right off. So I'm gonna barge that. The barge seems to be working pretty good on these here.
That's great. All right. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do to the Draugr helmet. I see there's a teeny little piece of Warbler that I can see where the paint's chipped off, but it's right on the tip, so I'm going to leave it. It's almost the same brown color anyway. I am going to screw the bolts into the horn so I don't lose them.
Get off my finger. Let's see. Matt Gardner says they have Wales Comic Con here tomorrow. That's exciting. Cool, man.
Oh, I'm Matt's having trouble with his contact cement, the Fix-O-Fix.
Yeah.
It got pretty cold and now it's rubbery. That can happen with barge too, and it's more of a shelf life thing. If you expose it to the air a lot, it will lose its liquidness and become more of a solid. But you can get a thinner for barge.
For barge, yeah. We have just barge thinner.
Yeah, and what I've done before is I pour some of it in the container when it's really gooey and almost gone, and then just shake it up until you don't hear the liquid sloshing around anymore, and it kind of mixes in and turns it more into a liquid. So I wonder if there's something for Fix-O-Fix too that will thin it down to get it back into that state.
You'll have to ask our friends over at Artie Fakes about that. It's looking pretty good. See, these are the pieces that I stapled back together, so I'm going to re-glue those. Well, since we're driving, Britt, we'll have to bring a can of barge with us.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, we fly to most conventions, and for this thing, we're driving. So I'm like, well, why don't we just bring our bandsaw? Like, we've got the room. that. Get off my finger. Sticky.
All right, now you have Draugr weapons. These guys were made out of poplar?
Yep.
Poplar wood. I'm really surprised at how strong they are. Bill made sure they were cut with the grain.
Most of it.
Yeah.
So you can't, just if it's one piece of wood, you can't do that. Some pieces maybe have weak spots, which I found.
Yeah, like these sides.
But on that, it actually snapped off.
Yeah. But the grain goes this way, so this entire piece is really strong. So these things are still good.
But this one here, it snapped right along there. Like that part snapped. You can see the crack a little bit. It's just wood glued back on, which is really strong. Believe it or not, wood glue, super duper strong.
For wood, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't mess around.
And that was 3 years ago when that happened.
So I'm going to be, there's a little bit of wood showing through on some of the edges. The last time that happened, I just took a Sharpie to it. So I'll probably do that with rub and buff this time. I also can see an area where I just covered it with black Sharpie, which means it looks kind of blue. The Sharpie isn't really black, so I'll probably brush over that. Yeah, these things are still good. They're really light. Some conventions don't allow even wooden weapons, but the ones we go to are usually fine with them. They're not sharp, and they are very light. And we also don't swing them around like crazy people.
That's pretty important.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm going to go grab some headache stuff over here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm liking these Tamiya paints, acrylic paints. They cover really well. Ooh, that's good that poplar cuts on the CNC well. Cool. I'm glad you guys are helping each other out in the chat. It's one thing we have trouble is sourcing materials in other countries. We need to get a list going.
There is one tiny spot of ice out there, like this big.
Yeah?
And I stepped on it. I'm all right.
Yeah.
But it's just like one tiny spot of ice. I put salt on it.
Okay.
So.
I'm glad you're okay.
Oh, I'm fine. I was just like, what? I'm just surprised that we have the whole yard I live in. I hit that one spot. Just waiting for Barge to set up right now. I can't really touch anything. So I think we'll do some painting.
These details on the sword we designed in Inkscape and got them laser cut through a company called Pinocchio. This was way before we had a laser cutter.
Those were actually done locally at that hackerspace.
Yes, they were, weren't they?
Yeah.
They totally were because they were too last minute. They weren't going to arrive from Pinocchio in time. Oh, yeah, those were done by a local makerspace. And remember, we were complaining about the quality level because their alignment wasn't quite perfect on them.
Right. Pinocchio is always perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so that worked really well. We just super glued them down.
Yeah, if you're looking to get stuff laser cut, see if you have a local hackerspace that you can work with. It's like pricing on that stuff. Like getting stuff laser cut isn't cheap. Buying a laser is even less cheap.
It's rasters that are.
Yeah, it depends on the type
expensive.
of cuts you're doing. So if you got a space that you're going to go to frequently, see if they have like a monthly thing, like a deal where you pay per month to be able to use the space, and then you can go as much as you want just to get your money's worth. If it's the sort of thing you're going to do pretty frequently. But those types of spaces are popping up everywhere. People like, I try not to do it very often, but when I'm shooting a video, like you could cut this out with a scroll saw, but I own a laser, so I'm going to use that. People will complain and say, "Oh, what do I do if I don't have a laser?" Like, well, you could use a scroll saw. Like, there's lots of other options. People, I think, want to complain to me because they don't want to put in the effort. Well, I can't do it because I don't have a laser. Meh. It's like, no, you could totally do it. You could either farm out the laser work or use a different tool. I mean, everyone that messages me on the internet is awesome.
No, it's one of those things that where trying out a tool before you invest in it is great if you have the opportunity to do that, because you don't want to get something you're not going to use.
Yeah.
That's why you can find some really good deals online. Like for us, we have in the U.S. we have Craigslist. I think other countries might have something like that too, where people have like an old bandsaw they bought and never used, and it's been in their garage for 3 years, so it's in like pristine condition, and then they're selling it for a really good deal.
Or a bandsaw from 1950, because it does the same thing.
It cuts things.
Yeah, it cuts things with a metal band blade.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't want to get a tool that you're not going to end up using.
Or you don't want to dump a ton of money into it.
Yeah.
But if you get one for cheap or used, then it's much better.
Yeah. Potentially
much better investment. I mean, my big bandsaw and my big drill press were both used. The bandsaw, a friend of mine was moving and he couldn't take it with him, so he gave that to me for real cheap. But there's a cat battle going on upstairs.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go check out what's going on. Sounds like they're causing trouble.
But the big drill press I found on Craigslist, and it was almost brand new. It's in fantastic shape. Justin RC says he cuts EVA with his CNC. Yeah, I ought to give that a try because we have that X-Carve CNC router over there.
What bit does he use?
What sort of bit do you use for cutting foam? I wonder.
Maybe you talk about tooling foam?
Oh, here, I gotta... Phoenix Revival says Trixie Duran is doing a live stream on Saturday. Yeah, we're tricky. Like to keep you guys on your toes. Jesmo says some bigger cities in Scandinavia have hacker spaces. You can go there and work with 3D printers and laser cutters just for the cost of materials. That is really good. Oh, Allison was asking if EVA can be cut with a CNC router. I tried actually. I just remembered I tried cutting EVA with a router, and it did okay. The direction that the bit is cutting makes a difference. He used a tapered ball end. I think I just got some ball end bits. I gotta try. Britt's playing referee upstairs. It's crazy. Like the cats will have a cat battle and just wrestle, and from down here it sounds like a tornado upstairs. Yeah, this piece of, it's hard to see here. This piece of Velcro is held on with wishes. I had a safety pin on this end, and then it's just held in on the other side, and I can just pull it right off. So I'm gonna glue that back down. There we go. Yeah, the barge seems to be holding that rather nicely. Justin says if you're new to CNC and you need help, let him know. All right. I am still really new to CNC. I have a couple of projects coming up that I'm going to use to really sort of cut my teeth on that, because I've got some custom shapes and G-code to make, and so far my experiments have been not entirely successful. I realized right away that there's a bit of a learning curve to seeing custom 3D shapes. I'll figure it out though. Large. Where's that? Let's stick this guy together. Glad I'm doing this. This is the sort of updates and fixes I should have done after the first time I wore this costume, and we just sort of limped on over the years and only really kind of touched stuff up temporarily. So these are a little bit better fixes. This one here is the one I stapled back together. I'm gonna pull the staples out. Just a flurry of fur and claws upstairs.
Yeah.
They better behave while we're gone.
Yeah, they play fight, but it sounds like demons are attacking each other.
Here's another piece of Velcro, like just the corner of it sticking off. Like it looks like it's pretty solid on there, but if I pull it just a little bit, it just peels right off. There's nothing holding that on. That's the one that was stapled together.
I wonder if you discovered that stuff the night before a convention and you just stapled everything.
Oh yeah. The knee pits, I gotta double check those, but the knee pits on these were stapled back together where the knee armor goes, or the armor goes around my knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, those probably still have office staples in them.
Nice.
I might go grab those right now and double check. Where did I throw that brush? I had a brush. It's on my head. Found it.
It's a good place to keep it.
Phoenix Revival says Buddha is not a pacifist. I think so.
He's the one. I don't know. Willow kind of plays the victim, and then Buddha Cat will chase her. But I think it takes both to fight.
Yeah.
They both have to be in the right mood.
Oh, I took the pouch off of this.
Oh, to use for your Diablo costume, which you are bringing.
I don't need the pouch though, because we're not going to be walking around. So I think I'll leave it the way it is.
We'll probably have a badge of sorts.
Yeah. So this part's actually already pretty good. I think I'll barge this part back together. But other than that, it should be fine.
funny. Our car's gonna be crammed full of costume stuff, but it's not gonna be heavy.
Yeah.
It's all most of it's foam. It's nice though. We usually don't get to drive to conventions. We tend to fly, so you have to pick and choose what you bring and pack it really well and worry about security.
You mean like airline security?
TSA, yeah. I'm sure it'll happen to us eventually where our stuff will get lost or stolen or really beat up on the plane.
Oh, I lost an arrow. Keep going. We'll want to bring the arrows, I think.
Yeah.
So here's the knee pits I was telling you about. Actually, it looks like I glued them back on.
Good job.
No, I sewed them on. Hey.
Good job, past you.
I'm an adult. I'm gonna clean up the Velcro though, because there's just these things. The fur on these has there is shrubbery and twigs
from different states
from around the world.
Yeah, from around the world.
Well, actually, let's see. Did I bring this? No, mostly just states, but from around the country. Like they are a mess, and I'm leaving them. I'm gonna leave that in there. It looks legit. It's really gross, but it looks legit. Oh, I found a piece of Velcro stuck in there. I wonder what that goes to.
Hopefully nothing important.
Yeah. But I last time I used these, I did actually sew the knee pit Velcro back together, which was the right move. Although this stuff is coming off, so I will glue that again. Oh, Justin is curious if our machine, the CNC, comes with proprietary software. It does. It's got this easel software, but it's really only good for doing like 2D cuts. Doing like complicated cam operations, you've got to use third-party software. So I play with Meshcam a little bit to generate the G code, but I didn't really get a handle for it. I didn't quite figure it out. I have to just try it out a few more times. But I'll get there. I'm just thinking this just gets...
These poor things have been through so much. These are my armbands. This one is almost completely separated. The only thing stopping it from cracking anymore is the cloth is glued in there. I had someone, the last time I wore this, came up to me and asked, how do you get such realistic cracks in your armor? It looks great. I was like, well, that's a real one. And it has like a nice jagged look to it because of the epoxy we put on the outside. So I think I might just hot glue the bottom half of it and leave the upper half because it looks cool. But this whole thing is bent a little bit. It's been through a lot in the last time we shipped them.
Oh, a lot of twigs.
Lots of twigs. Cut 3D. It's really easy to use and does great parallel pass work. Ooh. I'll have to write that one down on my list. Yeah, we haven't had time to play around with it very much. This winter, I want to do more CNC work. We have a sword we have to make that I think would be perfect for that. Maybe I'll close this up a little more. I want to slide down my arm. Draugrs were a mess in their crypts. It's true. I had to make a pristine space gun recently, like one that doesn't look weathered, and man, that's hard to do. Weathering so much. I mean, not only is it fun, but it hides your crimes. Then you can make stuff look all beat up, and if it does get beat up for real, it looks like you did it on purpose. I don't want to do anything new. Like the stuff in Fallout 4, I'm really liking. The beat up, rusty look.
All right, I think my torso armor is all updated, good to go. Oh, I got some of this stuff needs to get hot glue. Never mind.
These are good. I don't think these arm sleeves have ever been washed because they're attached.
Gross.
Yeah, they look fuzzy and gross, but that's fine. They smell like Dragon Con. Oh, these guys. This is one we fixed in the parking lot. It's still good. We had to hot glue Velcro back on, and we had a power inverter in our car to do that. We just covered all the edges of the Velcro in hot glue.
Which one's that?
This guy.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to this one, which the top one I'm going to add the levels of hot glue to it, but the bottom one has that extra support. It peeled off in the parking lot. Yeah, this one's peeling off a little bit. You can see I think I did this pretty last minute there. I didn't score the textured floor mats. I didn't like sand down the texture, or I didn't score it with a knife. So yeah, it'll just peel right off. Stayed on there for a couple years though.
I wonder if we know anyone that's worn costumes for as many times as we've worn these.
I think the Star Wars guys do a lot of upkeep on theirs.
Yeah.
The 501st.
There we go. Now my torso armor is all fixed up. I'm just going to run some paint on some of the edges, and I can put it aside.
Doop-a-doo. Yeah, hot glue is always part of our cosplay repair kits in our hotel room. Remember one time you forgot to make a costume for your pouch. I think it was BlizzCon last year.
A pouch for my costume.
Yeah. make a little costume for your pouch. That'd be adorable. Like a little helmet on it. No. Yeah, I think it was your rogue costume did not have a pouch. So you made a pouch.
I made one in the hotel room.
For your costume out of spare craft foam that we brought.
Yep.
You just hot glued it all together.
It didn't work really well. It broke a couple times.
Yeah.
And it had my wallet in it. That was poorly executed.
Yeah, we usually don't engineer that much. Last minute. Oh, and then this thing has come completely off. These are my hip pieces. My that go on my hips and down the side of my legs. And I have these little craft foam pouches on the inside of them for my cell phone and wallet. One goes on each side, and this one has come undone. I'll glue that back together. I think I tried to cram it full of stuff, like a T-shirt or something, like something stupid I shouldn't have tried to do. I like how if you wear them long enough, costumes have a story, stuff they've been through.
We have lots of stories for these.
Yeah.
I like the repairing in the parking lot at PAX. Like, we packed them up, got to the show, and realized we hadn't, like, as we were putting them on, oh no, this won't do. But we're always prepared to fix and update our things.
Squidbutt says, hey.
Squidbutt.
Sent us an email about resin kits a few days ago. I was wondering when you typically get to those emails. Depends on what the category is. I take care of the customer service emails. So if you use our contact form and use the drop-down customer service and have a problem with a purchase, I check those usually every day, unless we're traveling. But I know we have technique questions, and then we have what is this, like submissions to the Foamsmith Gallery. Yeah. We have a couple different categories, and depending on when it is usually about a week to get back to them. Yeah, well, if people email me technique questions, I try to get to those every week. It doesn't always happen, though. Mm-hmm. So it's usually a week or two before I get back to those. And if it's in our main inbox, it can get lost for a little while until Bill has a day where he can sit down and completely comb through it and make sure he didn't miss anything. Yeah, again, it's usually once a week when I can sit down and do that. Yeah. Rail says, out of curiosity, do you do these kinds of repairs for commissioned work? No, we don't do costume commissions. We don't do many commissions anymore, but. Yeah, I know. If you watch the Prop Live Q&A where Harrison from Volpin Props was on, I think he talked a bit about that, didn't he? Yeah, well, that was specifically with some of the props he's made. Yeah. But he'll put in the contract for the commission, he will have a clause detailing repair work. And he will repair stuff, but he charges for it, and he should. This part of the chest armor it's like right here in front of me. It just got pummeled. So I am just touching up all the edges with some silver paint. King of Craft says he's in the 405th. Yeah. And they wear the same sets of armor for many events as well, and that they smell. Yeah. I bet they do. No, we just don't have time to work on, like, as far as like repairs for other people. We don't really have time to craft much anymore. So if we are crafting things, it's either for tutorial content to share with people to teach them how to make their own stuff or fix their own things, or for our own personal cosplay. Yep. We're very much in the teach a man to fish category. I'd rather teach you how to do something than to do it for you. We can help more people that way. Yeah. So to make a prop for one person. It really is the main motivator, is that at some point I had to realize that I wanted to help more people, and I couldn't do it by doing one commission at a time. Oh man, this thing is just abused. All right, I need to call that good enough, otherwise I'll repaint the whole thing. Solano wants to know if we'll ever do a molding and casting 101 video. We might, but if you go watch our holy crap, if you watch the District 9 gun video series, we did matrix molding, which is a little more advanced. But for the Nuka-Cola bottle? The Nuka-Cola bottle, that's got one part or two-part mold tutorial right in there. It covers pretty much everything you need to know. But it's not a bad idea to sit down and do a 101 video. We'll see. Yeah, we learn new stuff every month we do things. So it's one of those things where in a few months it'll be great to do a new molding video with what we've learned. and our favorite way to make molds.
Oh, Harbor Freight had a Black Friday sale.
Oh,
Flower mats are $6.
that's awesome.
And you can use a 20% off coupon. I'm not sure I'm going to bother touching up the paint on these legs.
Yeah, no one will look at them anyway.
No.
It's fortunate. The foam underneath is all gray or black, so if any of it does crack through, it looks fine.
Yeah.
Whereas if we just use like bright green or something, we would have to do a lot more cleanup.
So this is all bare foam right here, and it's gray. And also this, my foot goes down here, so you're not going to see that. But if it's, I mean, if the gray is showing through, it's not that the end of the world. With the chest piece, I had black and white, a little more contrasty, so I touched them up a little bit, and it's front and center. Oh, I have some badges in here. What do I have?
For some reason, I have red sparkles in my fur.
I have an Emerald City badge and a PAX badge.
Oh.
This thing is just demolished. I'm going to do some paint on this. This goes around my arm, and it was done with black foam. All around the edge is just cracked like crazy. But first, I'm going to touch up this part if it needs it. Actually, this bottom edge here is gray. I'm not going to worry about that.
My foam's getting really fluffy. I might brush some fabric paint into it. That's what I did originally to get the gross old-looking foam. Was to take an old brush I didn't want anymore and put a bunch of like gray fabric paint in there, and then brush the fur, and it would get all like old cat hair looking, like old greasy, matted. But now it's getting all fluffy. I think I still have that brush.
Mm-hmm. I am missing an elbow. Nope, there it is. Those look all right. Here, I'm just separating everything that needs to get touched up and everything that isn't. Actually, a little bit of brown on this would be good. I think I'll go grab some brown paint.
Let's see, I need a brownish black.
Together. There we go. Oh, I can see, this is gross. I can see a line of sweat, like salt. Oh, that's so gross. It's my belt piece here, and the thigh armor goes right over it. It just velcros on, just like that. That velcro has not ripped or torn. This part is iffy. Oh, I stitched that together though, so that's not coming out. Cool. And the other side looks like it's pretty good too. Or is it? It's not. If I can peel it off by hand, then I ought to redo it. Cool. Matt says he was impressed with the Nuka-Cola bottle. Thank you. That one was really fun to build. I want to make more. I want to make a quantum bottle. Time willing, I'll knock one of those out. I'll have to remold it though, because it doesn't have an indent in it. In the front of it where the label goes. Just touching up. There's some black showing on the this leather part. I'm just putting a little brown on there. That'll do. I'm not gonna get really picky with that. Again, like I don't want to just slave over this thing because I'll end up repainting the whole thing. I gotta give myself a time limit. Otherwise, I'll be like, I'll just build the whole costume over again.
Yeah. I think the main thing that you've been focusing on is fixing all the straps. That's the most important to make sure you can wear your costume. And then people aren't going to really notice the little paint fix areas as much.
There we go. Do some more painting.
Yeah. I just mixed up a bunch of grayish fabric paint. I have this old hairbrush that still has gross fur in it, fake fur. Brushing a bunch of fabric paint into my brush, and then I'm going to brush that onto my fur bits because they look super fluffy and not undead. Fabric paint adds a thickness to the hair and a darker color.
Yeah, fabric paint is, I think, really just like acrylic paint, but it's got, it's rubbery. It's meant to be flexible with your cloth. Which makes it pretty good for that. I mean, you want your fur to have that like wet matted look too.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to, but I didn't brush it all the way through to the fur underneath, and a lot of that's kind of fluffed up over time.
You're the fluffy drogger. These raised up details were done with white foam, and there's a lot of white poking through, so just touching it up with some silver.
Yeah, it's something I want to make sure I do in the future, even if I have a really short time frame, to make sure the base foam I use underneath would look okay if it scratched through. Because like my Vex hand, I did out of white craft foam, 3mm, because that's all we had. We didn't have any black. And there's some scratches on it that now are bright white.
Right. All right. All right, I'm happy with that. Oops. It's almost ready. This piece definitely needs a bunch of silver on it, so I'm just going to paint all that. Rael says, "Are you hairbrushing a prop?" Yes. Yes, she is.
I think originally I took the, I ordered the fake fur online, and I took the whole piece and laid it down and brushed the whole thing with different colored grays and browns of fabric paint to give it that old matted look. So that way, whatever part we cut off would already have that texture to it.
Okay, check this out. So the leading edge of this thing, that you can see the silver I brushed on here, and the rest of it is black where the foam is showing through. So I'm just trying to repair that a little bit. And this is just going to get beat up more. This is the sort, like, I wish, now that I'm so in love with latex, I wish this had all been done in latex. If I had done it that way, we would not have to do any of this repair work, because the silver paint could be mixed in with the latex. So the base color of this would be rubber, and it would be silver, and it would be indestructible. It wouldn't chip or crack. It wouldn't rub off. It would all, the color would be embedded in the rubber.
As long as we used it correctly.
Yeah.
Like with latex, you need to put on enough layers and then make sure if you're not coating both sides, wherever the edge of the latex is won't peel back.
Yeah, so I would have put latex around the edge of this and then barged a strip of leather or cloth over it to keep it nice and secured. It's looking pretty good though. This is getting there. See, Solano says, "You guys ever see that Halo versus Destiny live action video on YouTube?" I did. My buddy Tim was in that. It's Tim's time. That was really awesome and funny.
Yeah, that was a great video. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked it out, look up Halo versus Destiny. It's, they're battling in like a really cool desert, rocky environment. But it's also funny.
The location they had was incredible.
Yeah.
And great costumes, and it was just altogether a really fun production.
Yeah.
I would love to be a part of something like that. Or maybe we could organize something like that.
Yeah, we have all these awesome costumes. It'd be great to do some videos. Can I touch up your fur a little bit?
Do what you got to do.
Awesome.
My shoulders are just sitting right over there. The leg pieces I wouldn't bother with.
No, just your top part is getting a little fluffy.
Yeah. Interesting. Painting this acrylic paint right on the foam is probably going to be more durable than the Epsilon, because it won't crack off.
It'll be a little flexible.
Yeah, it'll have some flex to it. Oh, Solana was the hunter in that. That's awesome. That must have been so much fun.
That's great.
There we go. That's one side, so you can see what you kind of see. This side's all nice and silver. This side's all black. We'll fix that. Fix that next. Also, there's foam inside of here to hold it on my arm, and some of that's peeling back, so I'll just hot glue that back on. Well, let's finish this up here. There we go. Perfect. That is done. I am nearing completion.
Of your Draugr armor. I know.
Sovereign Prop says, so the hard shell of Epsilon isn't really that great for armor after all. It depends on what you want to do. If you want a really smooth, like shiny finish on it, then it's totally worth using.
You need a lot of layers.
Yeah, you need to put a good thick shell on there, and you can sand it down. Personally, these were an experiment, and it worked out pretty well. But for other sets of armor, for the most part, I'd rather just use latex.
Our buddy Core Geek Cosplay, look up his stuff. He loves when he's doing one-off foam pieces, he will use a lot of layers of Epsilon and sand it down and get this beautiful, smooth, shiny finish. With latex, it tends to end up with a texture a little bit.
But mostly it just sort of mutes all of your edges.
Yeah,
like it softens all your edges.
Softens the edges.
And if you don't want that, if you want really hard, clean edges, then Epsilon is great for that.
Yeah.
But you have to put the effort in to sand it a lot.
Yeah, it seems like with creating physical costume stuff, there isn't one answer to how to build things. So if you look in the film industry, and they have to make a bunch of space armor for something, and they have 2 days to make it, they might be like, well, we'll make it all out of foam and not even seal it and just brush paint on it.
Yeah.
Or if they want to have something that's reusable, they might mold and cast everything in different kinds of resins, like an Iron Man suit. So some will be flexible plastic, and others will be a little more rigid ones. But it's all, that takes way more time and way more money.
Yeah, it depends on
that.
people. When people ask me what the best sealant is, I'm like, well, how much time do you have?
Yeah.
Because my Diablo costume is just painted. It's foam with acrylic paint on it. That's it. Because I had a day to paint it, so I didn't seal it with anything, and it worked out just fine. And if I had my druthers, I would have sealed it all in latex, just to make it a lot more durable. But I didn't have the time. So.
Yeah, and you can't sand latex, so
nope.
You can't. It won't hide your crimes.
Yeah.
Whereas if you use wood glue or Mod Podge or Epsilon, you can fill in gaps and sand them down.
Yep. Everything has its pros and cons.
Yeah, you just kind of, when you're going to make your costume, you want to think about how you want the finish to look, and also how much time you have and what you want to invest in.
Yep. I wish I could tell everyone, the one answer for everything. There is one.
Again, like I said before, even in the film industry, they make things different ways depending on what they need it for.
Yeah. How much time they have, how much money they have to invest in it. Justin RC says, have you guys ever had any 3D scans of your costumes done? No, that seems like it would be really cool, though.
Conventions are sometimes have that available.
Yeah.
They'll have a booth showing off their 3D scanning software, and you can. I know Preston got that done.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little better. I got some Draugr for. Yours was already pretty good though. Mine was worse.
Almost there. We're only going to roll for about another 20 more minutes on here, you guys. we got a bunch more stuff to do to get ready for our trip. Just letting you know. There we go. Let that dry. And the other thing about using acrylic for this is that it dries pretty quickly. Is there a difference between Mod Podge and wood glue, except the Mod Podge is more expensive? I'm not really sure.
There is a difference.
There is a difference?
Yeah, I'll after I wash my hands off.
All right, Britt's going to chime in on that.
Yeah, I use both.
Oh, cool. Justin RC says they have a company that does that 3D scanning, and if we ever go to the Denver area for Comic-Con, then they'll be doing it there. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
WMB Custom Creations says, I've even used Smoothcast 65D to coat foam. Yeah, I've done that too. Just a urethane coating. In fact, Smooth On makes something called Uracoat, and I bought some and I haven't tried it yet.
I'll have to do a video on that.
Yeah.
So for wood glue and Mod Podge, wood glue does not keep its flexibility as much as Mod Podge. And if you get a nice thick layer of wood glue on, you can sand it down. A lot of people like that for Warbler. Warbler is already more of a harder thermoplastic that doesn't bend very much.
I think so a lot of seals her Warbler with wood glue. Yeah.
And so you brush on layers of wood glue, and it usually self-levels pretty well as long as it's not too thick. So you don't get a lot of pooling. But also it covers the Warbler texture, and then you can sand it down to get more of a smooth finish if you want to. Mod Podge is much more flexible. It has kind of like a tacky feel to it for a while before it dries. But if I had to choose, I would definitely go with Mod Podge on my foam instead of wood glue. I did wood glue for my Onyxia costume, and I have cracks in it in areas where like it bumped or bent. My Diablo costume, I brushed on a couple layers of Mod Podge, and then I did Plastidip over it, and that was great. I didn't have to I only used like 2 coats of Plastidip instead of like 7, and it got a pretty smooth coat on it because the Mod Podge filled in all the cracks. But if I do flex it a whole bunch and then unflex it, the wrinkles will remain. Where if it's like just Plastidip, the wrinkles kind of go away and smooth out. But because the Mod Podge isn't as flexible as the Plastidip, left wrinkles behind. So, I mean, that's my experience with it. The wood glue is great for stuff that isn't good to flex, but the Mod Podge is much more flexible.
As with most things, the solution is conditional.
Yeah, I also I played around with a working time on Mod Podge with these these guys, didn't I? Was it a Mod Podge or was it Epsilon?
That was Epsilon.
Was it Epsilon? Yeah. You could do the same thing with Mod Podge, though. I did this for my Onyxia horns, where when it's tacky and almost setting, you can take a brush to it and brush it in one direction on purpose. And I was going for like a leather look. So you can see all the little ridges on here were brushed on while it was setting. And you can do the same thing with Mod Podge, which is pretty cool. Yeah, Plastidip is a sprayable or brushable rubber. They kind of advertise it to coat the handles of your tools in rubber.
Or your whole car.
Or actually, yeah, that's what they've been using it a lot for, is you can spray it on your car to repaint it and then peel it off later because it's just a rubber coating.
This thing got beat up. I think my helmet hits this a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Also, your fur is kind of wet, just so you know, to not lean on it. You'll just get paint on yourself. But yeah, I mean, like, I bet there are more pros and cons with different kinds of sealing materials. That's just our experience with them. And you can get lots of fun techniques going on with them, since they do have their pros and cons.
I'm so ready to be done with this. This sort of thing where the more I work on this, the more I see all the things that are just completely obliterated. Like this whole ridge here, my helmet rests against that, and the helmet is very rigid. It's all fiberglass, and it's just shredded the inside of this thing. So I'm just gonna brush on some quick layers of silver, look at it really quickly, and be like, it's fine, and move on.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's more the straps that you want to make sure work.
Yeah, actually, there's Velcro on here, and I just want to double check that those are not going to fall off. And I know at some point these were all pinned on, safety pinned on. But it looks like I fixed them at some point. I should have put what side of the Velcro you use is important. I should have put the non-plasticky side of Velcro on here, because these little pieces of Velcro just gobble up the fur. So they're just covered in fur.
Yeah, it's something that you want to think about for your undersuit as well, to make sure the hooky, grabby side of the Velcro isn't going to be rubbing against things. Have the soft side be the one that's facing it. Smells like something's burning. I
burned some stuff, yeah.
Okay, that's good. It's a good reason to smell like burning. You just burn off a thread?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think these are the last bits and pieces, and I'm not even going to worry about the shoes. These shoes are so beat up. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, though, so I'm going to call them good.
From 5 feet away, they'll look great. Maybe 10 feet. 10 feet away.
These pieces definitely need some touch-up, though. All right. But this is my last bit. Once I'm done with this, I think we're gonna end the stream.
Go have lunch?
Yeah, go make some lunch. I will. Once I'm done with this, I will chat with you guys a little bit. I know you guys are chatting back and forth in the chat room there, so I'll take 5 minutes and see if you have anything you want, any more questions or anything.
So next week we'll be on the road.
Yeah.
We do have some content that will be going up though, so look for that.
I wanted to.
Some new videos and stuff will be showing up that we've already recorded.
Yeah, we actually have 3 videos in the can, uploaded, ready to go for you guys the next couple weeks. And
if you haven't picked up Bill's Foamsmith ebook yet, now is the best time to do it. It's the lowest price it will
ever be.
Yeah, will ever be is our Black Friday price. It's 50% off right now if you go to punishedprops.com. It'll be like that for what? One more day. Night. Yeah.
Yep. In fact, we have a bunch more sales from a bunch of our maker friends. If you haven't already, go check it out. The link is is over here. There it is.
Yeah. If you go to that link, Bill's gathered some other awesome weekend sales that other prop makers are doing. So some really sweet stuff on sale.
Yeah, some good patterns, some props. Some people are discounting their kits, which is crazy. So I know Xander's doing his.
Yeah, that one might be over now.
It might be over, but Steve Meiser over at Solo Roboto is doing discounts on his Winter Soldier arms and some other kits. Some really great stuff over there. So I'm highly recommend. Again, even if you don't know you want something, go check it out because you never know. You might see that thing you absolutely can't live without. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm slowly but surely getting there. Justin RC, you're talking about starting a cosplay Roku channel. Would you find folks be interested in having your content in there? That sounds like a really great idea. If there's anything you need me to do, then email me.
Punishprops@gmail.com?
Yes, punishprops@gmail.com. If there's something you need me to do for your Roku channel, let me know. We happen to have a whole lot of videos. We have almost 300 videos, you guys. 300. A lot of those are, not all of them, I think 70 or 80 of them are live shows, which are easier to produce because they're just live to hard drive. But most of them are videos I edited. And I was thinking about that yesterday and how much time it takes to edit. If I had to sit down and edit 200 videos, that just seems insurmountable. I can't believe it. We've been able to put out that much video content over the years.
Yeah, it's all you.
Yeah.
I edited my first video.
Yeah, you guys had something to look forward to. Brittany's got her own video. She did all herself.
Yes, you can laugh at it. The great thing about editing your first video is the next one you edit will be your second video, and it will be better. I was pretty happy with the footage I got while I was working, but the actual editing in my voiceovers definitely needs improvement, but that's fine. It'll get better.
Mm-hmm. Oh, boy.
That'll go up on Wednesday, I think.
Yeah, it's going up pretty soon. That's good enough. Good enough. Let's hot glue some parts back together here. I'm just getting paint all over myself.
My prop has a bunch of cat hair on it.
Need more glue sticks. Glow sticks?
Glow sticks.
Glue sticks.
Your costume needs more glow sticks.
That is true. People are saying, go, Britt.
Oh, yay. Don't say that. You haven't seen it yet.
It's good. You guys are going to like it.
It may feature, the beginning may feature one of our cats.
Yep. One of our cats made it in there. Go figure. The last piece And I can get on with my life.
Yeah, feel free to show all your what you guys are working on, and if you have any cosplay pages and stuff, feel free to link those in the chat whenever you guys want.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you have any questions for other people in the chat, like technique questions, we love that you guys share that kind of stuff.
One of these things are just abused, punished, if you will. I need to decide what we're going to have for lunch. Anyway, thank you guys for stopping in. A little impromptu live stream. It's always nice when we knock one of these things off or kick one of these things off, just sort of off the cuff, and you guys all show up, which is really nice of you.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us.
This is something we had to do anyway, and we're like, oh, why don't we live stream it? It kind of works both ways, too. It's like, well, if we live stream it, then we'll be obligated to actually get it done. Boy, I wish I had a list of all the conventions I brought this costume to. It's a lot.
But no one else has worn it, unlike your shepherd armor, where you would let people borrow it.
This one's a little bit more tailored to me.
Yes. Also smells a lot like you.
Ugh. So gross. Matt says, thanks for doing an early show. So we're gonna kill the stream in about 5 minutes. If you guys have any more questions, just use punished props in the IRC and it'll pop up so it'll highlight it for me. So if you have any more last minute questions, throw them in there, and then we're gonna get out of here.
Severin Props says it's always fun and educational.
Hooray! Hey, if you can learn what not to do from me, then.
Well, every time we make costumes, we tend to try something new, and we're usually in a hurry, so we might not use the best method. So it's kind of neat to see what holds up and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Like our Destiny costumes, I was just touching up the hands on them. We didn't have time to get a working kind of pigment that would be able to be in the latex when we sprayed it on. So we just sprayed on latex and then added paint to it. the paints that we had weren't working with the latex. It was not spraying out of the spray gun, and it was a pain. So the parts of my Vex hand, because it's white foam, the parts of the paint that rub off, you can see the white underneath because the latex is clear. But on Bill's awesome axe he made, we have a pigment now that we put in the latex, or you put the paint right in the latex.
Yeah, you can just you can mix acrylic paint right into latex rubber.
Yeah, we weren't sure about it. We didn't have time to test it, 'cause, deadlines with costumes. But for this one, I mean, like, this part is actually brown in the latex. So if all the paint on top rubbed off, it would just look brown, which is awesome. So that's something we've learned recently. So I'm looking forward to the next thing we learn. Probably for Dragon Con next year.
Yep.
So many more things to try. I want to do more vacuum forming, I think.
Yes.
We heard rumors that you can vacuum form craft foam
we're gonna give that a try.
As long as it's in a well-ventilated area.
That looks good. All right, calling that done. Time for lunch. Looks like that's about it, you guys. I don't see any more questions popping up in the chat, so we're gonna get on out of here. You want to hit that face cam?
Oh wait, hey guys. There's that one. Face cam.
Yay! Rail says, "How do you seal wood weapons?" You don't have to really seal wood weapons; just paint it. Because it's not going to be flexible. You don't have to worry about it flexing. Just paint it, prime it, and paint it. That's it for the little live stream thing. Again, thank you guys so much for showing up. We have a bunch more videos. If you haven't already, go check out the sales our friends have going on this weekend. bit.ly/propfriday15, all one word. And that's it. We're going to go because we got to finish and pack and get ready for a trip.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a good holiday weekend for the rest of it. And enjoy your week next week. Look forward to our videos. And we will catch you next time.
Yes. Bye.